Slugma and Magcargo are often mistaken for Generation 3 Pokémon, having barely featured at all in Generation 2 and only being found in 3 routes in the post-game. It's not hard to understand why. Slugma and Magcargo really don't have anything going for them at all. They have poor stats, they evolve at a high level, and they have an awful typing. But I've been challenged to take one around the Johto region, and gather around as this is my toughest challenge yet. As always, we'll start with the 7 rules. Number 1, the timer starts when walking away from Professor Elm after receiving the starter Pokémon. Only the challenge Pokémon may be used in battle, no items in battle, no evasion increasing TMs, no uses of intentional glitches or exploits, no rare candies until red, and the timer may be paused for breaks in recording, but no inputs may be made when the timer is paused. And with the formalities out of the way, I used the Universal Pokémon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Slugma. That gives me the worst type disadvantage I have ever had in one of these challenges. Slugma, or should I say its evolution Magcargo, is 4 times weak to Feraligator's water-type moves, and that is going to prove pivotal throughout the run. So we take a look at the Slugma. It's 19 HP, only Smog as a move, and poor stats across the board. The only stat of any note is the special attack, which is slightly higher than the other stats. But overall, very poor stats for the little slug, but we shall take it onwards and upwards through into our first encounter together, where we miss our first move. That is a sign of things to come for the first few levels. But on the upside, we learn Ember at level 8, and that isn't too far away. We poison this Hoot, but still it takes 7 hits to take down. That is not boding well. So I slog my way to Mr. Pokemon's house, I get the egg from him, and Professor Oak has a chat. He asks me, what on earth am I doing with a Slugma? That's a terrible Pokemon, I should put it away and have a Cyndaquil instead. Cyndaquil is the starter of this region after all, and you can't even find Slugma in Johto. But I say no, I will persevere with it. He gives me a Pokedex for my troubles, and then on the way back I decide to deplete all my moves. I cannot be bothered having Smog miss the enemy's Totodile in the first rival battle. But even that takes its time. I manage to do it, and I go to the rival. Here we go, our first proper challenge with Slugma. We have no moves left, and we struggle. Scratch gets quite a lot of damage done after that Leer, and we just go down pretty much instantly. I give it another go, just to see if that was poor luck, and it's the same story again. We get Leered, and then the Totodile starts to scratch. Even with moves that aren't super effective against us, this is going to be a struggle. There's no breathing room with this Slugma, so I decide to go and get another level. This Hoot very kindly gives me a level after struggling away at it for quite some time. In fact, we end up on 2 HP at the end, but we get the level up, and I try once more, using a potion to replenish Gary's HP, and we try and try again. This Totodile is in the yellow at long last, it's in the red, 1 more struggle should do it, and there we go. At long last, 3 resets just for the first trainer battle. But on the upside, we're closer to getting Ember, and Ember will open up the game for a little while at least. We name the rival Triple Question Mark, we speak to Professor Elm, we heal the Pokemon because it had taken even more damage on the way from the rival, and we get our balls. On the way out of the route, I encounter this Rattata, and this Rattata is the key to our success for the next bit of the game, because we get Ember from it, and that lets us travel with no real issues at all into Violet City. At the top of the Sprout Tower, we are able to ignite some Pokemon on the way up, because of course we are a Fire type, and we have a good advantage against all these Bellsprout. The occasional Hoot does prove to be a little bit of an issue, but we have enough special attack to make it work. So the first Bellsprout here goes down in a single hit. Hoot uses Tackle, we're going to take it out in a few Embers. We have enough PP for this. And the final Pokemon is that last Bellsprout that goes down in a single Ember. We get to level 13 and we beat the Sage. That gives us Flash, and we can move on to the gym. 2 Pokemons face off in this gym. We start off with a Pidgey. Now Pidgey likes to use Mud Slap, and it lowers our accuracy with that, but we take it out in 2 Embers. Maybe a better damage roll would have stopped the Mud Slap, but it doesn't matter anyway because Gust doesn't take us down, and we grow to level 14 and beat Falconer. We get the Zephyr Badge, and we make our way out of there with a time of 15 minutes and 6 seconds. And with nothing too precarious happening through Union Cave, I'll take you into the Ilex Forest, where we are going to meet our partner Pokemon for the game. But first we're going to ignite this Venonat. This Venonat gives us another level and that lets us learn Rock Throw. So the first Pokemon we are picking up is an Oddish. Oddish is going to be used for Cut and Flash as well as Sweet Scent. So after we catch the Oddish, we then encounter a Psyduck. Psyduck is going to be used for Whirlpool, Waterfall, Surf and Strength. We chuck a first ball at it and it doesn't want to stay, so I decide to throw a rock courtesy of Slugma. Balls keep flying at it and we do eventually catch it. Not on this one though, and I'm thinking, am I going to run out of Pokeballs? But fortunately for me, it catches on our second to last Pokeball. Now that we have our field move friends, we can move on into the Slowpoke well, where we've got some Team Rocket action to deal with. The final grunt in this well has a level 14 coughing, which we burn. It uses Smog and doesn't poison us for once, which lets us advance into Bugsy's gym. Now Bugsy's Pokemon are going to be very flammable, and we are a Fire-type Pokemon, and as well his Scyther is 4 times weak to Rock, and we have Rock Throw now. So I decide to set fire to the Metapod. He shall send out the Scyther next. Fury Cutter does nothing at all. I decide for some reason to use Ember, and it takes it out in 2. Maybe Rock Throw would have taken it out in 1. It doesn't matter either way because Kakuna goes down very easily, and we get our second batch with a time of 26 minutes and 40 seconds. Goodness me, this is a bit of a marathon, isn't it? And it's time for rival number 2. He knows a Water-type move now, and he leads with a Ghastly, a very quick Pokemon that loves inflicting status conditions. We get paralysed, and it's game over from the paralysis. I just try anyway. We get down to 1 HP, we poison the Croconaw, but no, it's no use. So I decide to train. The first thing I do is go and battle all the trainers I skipped on the way from Violet City into Azalea Town. We're able to take out this Geodude very easily indeed, and the Machop does barely anything at all. We aren't weak to fighting yet, and that is going to prove to be in our favour as we go through the first part of the game, until we evolve anyway. So after getting a couple more levels, I'll try again and see if anything has changed. He still leads with the Ghastly. It licks us, it paralyses us because it seems to be 100% paralysis from that Ghastly. I'll try again, he misses the Hypnosis and we can now Oko the Ghastly onto the Croconaw, and Water Gun deals quite big damage. He swaps to Rage for some reason, so I decide to throw a rock at the Croconaw's head. Rage is doing big damage and there's nothing we can do. A Water Gun takes us down. I remember that I have TMs, I remember that I have Mudslap, and Slugma can learn it. So let's try again with Mudslap, maybe lower the Totodile's accuracy just that little bit. Lick doesn't paralyse us, we burn the Ghastly, and we take it out in 2 hits. So that is a damage roll on the Ghastly. I start throwing mud in the Croconaw's face. It's no use, even with Mudslap we're getting nowhere, so it's time to train. We grind on the wild Pokemon now because we are out of trainers. We get a level off this Rattata, and I deliberate as to whether to use Harden. But I looked at my moves, and while Smog is useless for the most part, it might have an edge case. And after a bit of grinding, this Rattata here is the Pokemon that gets us up to level 23. And with that we can try again. Hopefully this time with Mudslap and a little bit of extra HP, we can get through this battle. Starting off with a Ghastly, it misses a Hypnosis and that lets us Oko with Ember. The mindless grinding must have gotten to my brain though, and I use Ember against the Croconaw. We do follow up with some Mudslaps and do quite a good job of making this Croconaw miss. And we manage to knock it out with Ember and Mudslap on just 3 HP. Zubat's next, we don't Oko it and a Bite takes us out. Maybe if I press the correct moves this time though, we'll get through on 17 resets. Ghastly goes down, that's no longer an issue unless it hypnotises us. Mudslap does good work on this Croconaw. We get a critical hit here and there. He starts using Rage, he's just spamming loads of different moves, nothing's connecting. We burn the Croconaw and it goes down. That leaves Zubat to go, and as we know, we can easily 2-hit it. We do get confused, and at this point I'm thinking, please don't let me faint. This could be my only chance. On 5 HP we pull through to defeat the rival, and we can finally make our way on to Goldenrod City. But first we've got to go through the Ilex Forest where we receive the Cut HM. We teach that, of course, to Oddish, and we teach Flash at the same time. Now I always teach Flash first, so it's first in the menu. why I'm using Oddish later on, because you can't press A to flash. Once we're in Goldenrod's Underground, as normal, we pick up the coin case and get a haircut. The younger brother puts on his gloves and gets to work on Slugma's Magma. When we're in the game corner, we buy 100 coins and then we buy the Abra. Abra is going to be used for teleport only, but that is very handy. We grab Kenya because we need Kenya for Fly. We take the mail off it and then we move on up towards the Sudowoodo. We have a chat with the woman in front of the Sudowoodo and then we can take on Whitney. Now, Whitney's signature move is Rollout. That is going to be bad. Metronome poisons us, because of course it does. We are really unlucky sometimes with this Clefairy, and I think it's going to be a losing game with Rollout and poison damage, and of course the Rollout builds and critical hits. On the second attempt, we Ember the Clefairy and it uses Double Slap. It misses Present. It would have been nice if Present had healed me back up to 66. And the cow starts to roll, but she misses her second roll. She gets burnt, which lowers her attack. And we are able to take it out on attempt number 2. That is not bad at all for the Slugma. With a time of 50 minutes and 32 seconds when other Pokemon are about to face the League, we get through Whitney. And this is why this video is the weekend video. I needed a lot of time to get through this. We knock out the first Kimono Girl because we do have a rock move now. And then we take on Vaporeon, a very dangerous Pokemon for this poor Slugma. We manage to burn it, which is good, and then we just start mud slapping it. I'm not sure where we're getting the mud from inside the theatre, but it seems to do the job, and Vaporeon cannot hit us for love nor money. And that gives us Amnesia. That is one of the most important moves we are going to learn in this entire playthrough. And with Surf safely in our backpack, we're able to move on to the rival in the Burnt Tower. Again, this is going to be tough. He has the 4 times type advantage, although at this point it is only 2 times type advantage, but we are slow as anything. Ember does barely anything. We're cursed by the Haunter and it just isn't working. I think the only way we're going to get through this quickly is if Haunter decides to not use Curse. And on this attempt, Haunter uses Lick, doesn't paralyze us, uses Lick again for a critical hit, but we knock it out. That gives us a lot more HP to work with, and we can start using Amnesia. We need to use Amnesia like our life depends on it, because even though we're only 2 times weak, our special defense isn't great at only 40, and we just have to hope that this Pokemon cannot hit us with all its mud in its face. So Water Gun keeps missing, we're down into the red. None of my moves can really hit Croconaw for any decent damage, which is why Curse would have been a killer for the run. However, we do get through the Croconaw, Zubats and Oko with a Rock Throw, and Magnemites and Oko with Ember. Thank goodness Magnemite is Steel type in this generation. So we're able to say goodbye to the rival, we escape through the emergency hatch in the floor, and we leave to do the gym. By this point, I'm already feeling the fatigue that I would normally feel quite late on in the game when I'm in the Elite Four, because we are almost at an hour, and I have barely got 3 badges. I am working my way on the 4th badge, and it is slow. I know they say slow and steady wins the race, but this is absolutely ridiculous. Our Slug is just so gosh darn slow. It can't Oko anything. It gets hit by Curse, it gets hit by Ember, it makes me see Medium Martha. It's all going wrong as we hit the hour mark. I decided to give Morty a go because, hey, it might somehow all fall in alignment, but as soon as the Curse hits, it's a foregone conclusion. I take the match to completion just for formality's sake to see just how much grinding I'm going to need to do. We do reach level 32, we aren't on a multiple of 4 HP, which is good for Curse, because Curse always deals 25% of damage, and it rounds down, so if you have a multiple of 4, you are taken out in 4 hits, any other multiple, you are taken out in 5. Even this Wooper that is 12 levels lower than us is a struggle. There's just nothing that Slugma seems to do smoothly. Against this Mr. Mime, he uses Barrier, we don't take it out in 1 hit, we get confused. Slugma starts hitting itself, and it is just not a pleasant Pokemon to use at this point. I'm hoping Magcargo is better, but we say, God, Ruth, give us some experience, and we get some off her Pikachu, and that gives us level 33. So we try again after another 5 minutes of grinding, we get in front of Morty, and we try our best. If we don't get cursed on the first turn, that is good. And we don't, because we outspeed the Ghastly now. That gives us one more turn to play with. Critical hit would have been nice on the Gengar if we had hit it with that instead, but instead it went to the Haunter. Hypnosis sends us to sleep, he starts eating our dream, and no, just not happening. I try again on another round, because you never know, it could have just been a bit of bad RNG luck. Hypnosis isn't that accurate of a move. And with a little bit more luck on our side, we are able to get through the Gengar by using Ember and Mud Slap. Mud Slap, of course, being super effective. And we are on to the final Haunter. It uses Mean Luck. We reduce its accuracy. It's all about this Ember, which knocks it out. And we get the badge with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Goodness me, that was a tough one. Now the good news is we've already beaten all the trainers between Ecruteak and Olivine, so we can go straight to the Strength Man and teach Psyduck both Strength and Surf. We teach them all at once to try and minimise the amount of time we use in the bag, and then we can go into the Lighthouse, because there's a bit of lighthouse keeping that needs doing. At the very top, Ampharos is unwell, and we talk to Jasmine, who asks us to get some medicine. We do, but first we get some medicine for our Slugma in the form of a rare candy. When we land in Cianwood City, I forget where I'm going, because it feels like I've been playing this game for months at this point, and I'm only at gym number 5. But we managed to get the secret potion and enter into the gym, and I'm thinking about not evolving until after this gym, because we're weak to fighting as a Magcargo. However, it doesn't matter, Slugma's defences are so poor that the Hitmonlee takes us out. I try to give Slugma the benefit of the doubt and give it another go, but the defences are so poor that we can't even get past the first trainer in the gym. So instead we say hello to the mystical man himself, Ucine. He is on the trail of Suicune, and it's our first proper introduction with him. He's got a Drowsy which gets burnt, he doesn't manage to send us to sleep, and we get a level off that and learn Flamethrower. Thank goodness for that, a decent stab type move. That could be all the difference. Electrode can't knock us out with Rollout. Haunter's next, it uses Lick, doesn't paralyse us, and we get the win off Ucine. We now have a much better stab special move in our arsenal. We are at almost 2.5 times the power of Ember with Flamethrower, although we do sacrifice some PP, and that does mean we can get through the Hitmonlee, although we're on 19 HP and this is a double team battle where we go straight onto the next trainer. We survive on 1 HP from Comet Punch and just about get through, so I leg it through to the Pokemon Center, take out the other trainers with no issue, and now we are on to Chuck. Now Chuck has fighting type Pokemon, but he also has a water type at the very end. Primate's no issue, that goes down very easily, and then Surf happens. We try again just to see if that was some bad RNG, see if Chuck will select a different move, and I can also use Amnesia against the Primate. So we get up to +6 special defense, however the Primate is knocking us out on its own this time. I start to get a little bit mad at this point, because this slug just cannot get through anything without pomp and circumstance and faff. It gets knocked out by a Primate, so I decide there's nothing left to it, let's go and train. We have Swimmers to train against, which isn't the best, but I take on this Krabby with a vigour in my attitude and knock it out, but that's not enough to get a level, so I have to take on Wild Pokemon. This Tentacruel volunteers itself for some experience. It uses Poison Sting to poison us, because of course it poisons us, but we knock it out, we grow another level, and I think, why the hell not? Why not just see what happens if we evolve into Magcargo? We can at least take the hits from the Primate and set up. So with that fire in my belly, I go on to Chuck again. I might be weak to fighting now, but we have huge defense. It's all we've got going for us. So Fury Swipes does nothing, we're set up, and we set fire to the Primate. It goes down in a single hit, now it's time for Poliwrath. We Flamethrower it, and Dynamic Punch hits to confuse us, and of course we hit ourselves in confusion, and he takes us out with another Dynamic Punch. Let's try again. This time Fury Swipes misses, because apparently that's less accurate than Dynamic Punch. We get our Amnesias up. Karate Chop does a little bit of damage. Rage does nothing, because it's a poor move to use against a Rock type. Out comes the Poliwrath. I use Mud Slap. Dynamic Punch still hits. We hurt ourselves, and he finally misses. We hurt ourselves again, and Dynamic Punch connects even with a lowered accuracy. I'm getting very annoyed and agitated at this point. Nothing I'm doing seems to be working against any of the major battles. It's just an uphill slog every single time. We knock out the Primate, we start mud-slapping the Poliwrath. It tries to hypnotise us, and it does. It starts the Dynamic Punch, even with too low in accuracy. We hurt ourselves, but finally he misses. We mud-slap again, and Dynamic Punch misses. We hurt ourselves, because why wouldn't we? And Flamethrower hits to burn. Thank goodness, some luck going in our direction for once. Surf does barely nothing, and the burn takes it out. At long last, we have beaten Chuck. I leave the gym, I speak to his wife, and I vow never to return to this godforsaken island ever again. I teach Fly to Kenya, and I get out of there. I need a bit of a walk to calm down, so I go to the Lake of Rage because I'm feeling venomous. I pick up the rare candy and the hidden power, and then it's time to have a look at this Gyarados that's bright red and sparkly. I throw a rock at it, it bites me with a critical hit, but that does barely anything. We take it out in 2 hits. We get the red scale from the Gyarados and have a little chat with Lance. He tells us about Team Rocket, and we decide to take on Team Rocket with him. At the very end of the Rocket segment, we get ourselves HM06, which is Whirlpool. And with that, we can take on Price. Now, on paper, we should have a type advantage. It's the Ice Gym, but he leads with a Water type. Because why wouldn't he lead with a Water type? We take it out in 2 hits. Out comes Piloswine, which is Ground type, but we manage to knock it out because Ground doesn't resist fire. Out comes the Dugong that uses Aurora Beam. It doesn't seem to have a super effective move, thank goodness. And Price goes down very easily, like every time we've battled him. On to Jasmine, we give her the potion. We apologise for the delay, but told her that we needed a thinking walk at the Lake of Rage. She's very understanding, as is Amphi, and we can make our way over to the gym. And what's this? A gym that we could be good against? That doesn't seem right. The Steel-type gym, of course, we are weak to Steel via our Rock-type, but we resist with Fire. And we take out the first Magnemite, the Steelix goes down, and the second Magnemite goes down for our first very short split indeed. At 1 hour and 31 minutes and 30 seconds, we take out Jasmine. From there, we move on to Violet City to pick up the rare candy we missed. We also get a Nugget and a rare candy south of Goldenrod. We do our usual retail therapy and get a return from the department store. And just as I was feeling better from that retail therapy, our rival pokes his nose all in our business again. All I was trying to do under here was have a look in the back, see if we had any more return TMs back there. Because you can only get 1 a week, and I think that's unfair. We don't outspeed his Golbat, we take it out in a couple of hits, but we get confused. Out comes the Feraligatr. It has Water-type moves, but we are able to get a couple of Amnesias off, and Water Gun doesn't do too much. We are on very low HP though. We get the burn and he switches to Rage. Presumably he's seen how high the special defense is, and the burn knocks out the Feraligatr. We're on a clock now with Haunter because it uses Curse because it outspeeds us. Sneasel is pathetic as always because it goes down to our Fire-type move, and we outspeed the Magnemite. Thank goodness for that. We survive on 17 HP. While we're in Goldenrod City, we might as well take on the sights. And oh no, there's Team Rocket in the radio tower. Whatever shall we do? We'll take on this Arbok. We knock it out and get level 48 and learn Rock Slide, a much better Rock-type move. And in fact, we'll try it out against this Murkrow. Oh, that's delicious. We're dealing great damage now with our physical attacks and our special attacks. You never know, we could make something of this snail yet. We knock out the first executive, and we are on to executive number 2. At the top of the radio tower, he leads with a Houndour, and we have the type advantage with Rock Slide, taking it out in 1 hit. Coughing's next. Coughing goes down to a single Flamethrower. It's time for the Houndoom. Houndoom bites us, we flinch, he feint attacks, we Rock Slide and knock him out. Finally, a battle where I didn't feel like I was on the back foot the entire time. For that, we get a little congratulations from the director. We pick up Sunny Day from this lady here, and we also grab the radio card from the bottom floor. After that, we can make our way into the Ice Path, where we have another HM to pick up and a few more delicious goodies. So making our way through this puzzle, I am thinking about Claire and her Kingdra, because it's another Water-type gym leader. We get Waterfall here, and we teach it to the Psyduck. Psyduck, of course, has Surf, Strength, Waterfall, and Whirlpool at this point. He is fully taught up. We grab TM44, rest from there, and we make our way into the gym, having a little detour en route. Let's try the first trainer, see how badly this goes. We're going to be slow. He's got Dratini. Dratini does resist Flamethrower, but we knock it out in one hit. So that is looking good. I mean, we've had a couple of critical hits here, but Flamethrower is getting the job done. So we beat Cool Trainer Paul, and we're on to the litmus test for Claire, which is Cool Trainer Lola. We get paralysed, and it's all downhill from there. Dragon Rage deals 40 damage each time. We get fully paralysed, and we have to try again. We got knocked out by yet another gym trainer. Dratini goes down in one this time. We aren't paralysed for the Dragonair, but it paralyses us itself. We knock it out, and we take the experience, and now we are on to what might be the most frustrating battle I have ever had in my entire Pokemon playing life. I've been playing Pokemon since 2001. I got the game in 2001. It was Gold, actually, my first Pokemon game. And this, in 21 years, is the worst experience in this game of my entire goddamn life. I cannot stand Claire. We struggle and struggle and struggle. We occasionally get to her Kingdra to get knocked out in one hit. We need to train, but at this point in the Johto games, there isn't much experience left. We get a level off this Graveler to get up to level 50 of all levels. Hike Timothy flashes his Diglett at us, we mudslap it away, and we get magnituded for that pleasure. So he decides one Diglett's not enough and he gives us 3 at once. We flamethrower that to get to level 51. While we're here, we pick up a Paralysed Cure Berry just in case. And now that we've got a couple more levels, maybe we can do something better with Claire. We rock slide the Dragonair, it flinches, and we are on to the Kingdra. We use Amnesia, but we're too slow, and we still get O-Code. We've got to set up on this Dragonair, which is an absolute nightmare, because it knows Surf as well, and it knows Thunder Wave. This first Dragonair is the bane of my life. I am walled by it. It uses Surf, we can do barely anything because of paralysis. I just have to keep on trying. I dig my heels in, I teach Sunny Day to Gary, see if that helps, because it will reduce the power of water-type moves. This isn't a water gym, but I have to treat this gym, like I did with Price's gym, like I did with Chuck's gym, as a water-type gym, because they are using water-type moves and water-type Pokemon, and that is the worst combination for this poor little snail that just wants to get to the Pokemon League. He's fully paralysed, we Sunny Day, we get surfed on, we get a critical hit, because the RNG hates me at this point. It has something against this poor little cephalopod. First turn we get Thunder Waves, which means that berry is ostensibly useless. We can't even get a Sunny Day off easily. We Rock Slide, it doesn't OHKO. We Flamethrower, we manage to get to the Kingdra, but we're paralysed, we're slow. The sunlight is strong, we manage to Rock Slide it. It smoke screens us, we hit it again, we're in the red, and what does she do? She uses a Hyper Potion. Why does she use a Hyper Potion? Because she is words I cannot say on this channel. 61 resets in, more grinding to go. We say hello to Picnic at Erin, she's got a Ponyta, but we are so over leveled at this point for her Pokemon that I just set fire to the Fire Pony. We get to level 52, I pick up an X speed because I forgot what the item was, because I have to never come down this way, because Claire isn't usually this much of an issue. We miss a Rock Slide, we get paralysed, we try again, Rock Slide connects, Thunder Wave doesn't affect us, I start using Amnesia. I want to get through onto the Kingdra with at least +4 in my special defence, but I can barely make it through. I'm not paralysed, this is the best chance we've had yet. Surf hits us, we Rock Slide. Surf hits us again, we're on 11 HP. She uses a Hyper Potion once more. The sunlight fades and it's all over. I'm over 2 hours into this run at this point. We haven't had a gym badge in well over half an hour, and we are hitting a brick wall. This is reset number 80, flaming 4 at this point. Amnesia doesn't seem to be helping, Sunny Day doesn't seem to be helping, the Paralysed Cure Berry doesn't seem to be helping. We're barely flinching with a Rock Slide. We're getting through with yellow HP on this Kingdra, and it is just walling us. She's got Hyper Potions, I can't use items in battle. The sun goes away, my hope is fading, reset 85, 2 hours 8 minutes, surf from the Dragonair. Thank you Dragonair, that's just what my snail needs. We get paralysed, that berry does its work, but we get paralysed again. The Gen 2 misses aren't happening at all in this gym at the moment, and we are struggling. Reset 92. Thunder Wave hits us. It surfs us. We're in the green for the Kingdra at the very least, as we knock out that pesky Dragonair. Kingdra comes out, uses Surf, we Rock Slide. Surf again. Rock Slide. She's going to use a potion. I should have used Sunny Day to try and give me some help, but I just couldn't think at this point. Thunder Wave hits us. Reset 94. We get a couple of Gen 2 misses at long last. Rock Slide hits. We get 3 Gen 2 misses, 4 Gen 2 misses in a row, and we knock out the Dragonair. We're at full HP. Surf does big damage, but we manage to get a Sunny Day up. Surf takes us into the yellow. We start rock sliding, and we are just struggling because she keeps using those potions. She is not playing fair. I try Sunny Day, but it is no use. At reset 96, we try again. We flinch the Dragonair. I start using Amnesia because I cannot get through to the Kingdra without Sunny Day and Amnesia. That's literally the only way I can take this out. We get to the Kingdra with 75 HP, and Surf does exactly a third of that. The second Surf does more than a third, so it's all over. Even though she's using a Hyper Potion, she is just teasing us and knocks us out. Reset 98. Thunder Wave misses. Amnesia hits. Amnesia hits again. We get paralysed, but the berry cures us. We set up the Gen 2 miss. I accidentally misclick, but it doesn't matter. We get Sunny Day, but we get paralysed. Surf is doing nothing at this point from the Dragonair. But I keep missing, and I keep being paralysed, and it chips away. We could have been at great HP, but a critical hit. Reset 99, it's now or never. I'm going to give up on this gym if I don't get through on this reset. Because I'm fed up. I have been at this gym for almost an hour. It's been 45 minutes of pure torture since I last got my gym badge. The sunlight fades, Surf knocks us out with a critical hit. I've got to go grinding yet again. This time I decide to take out every single Pokémon between the Lake of Rage and Blackthorn City, and some in other places as well. I don't want to take on the swimmers, they're all water types, and that will be even worse than facing Claire for another 2 hours. We get to level 53 off Campus Spencer. Birdkeeper Vance comes out, shows us his Pidgeotto. We knock it out and we get to level 54. Another Pidgeotto gets rock slided, and we try again. We're at level 54 with Claire. We start with Amnesia. Thunder Wave misses. We get paralysed, but we have 2 Amnesias under our belt. She uses Surf. I rock slide and take it out with a critical hit. This is positive. Kingdra comes out. Rock slide does big damage. Rock slide again into the red. She uses a Hyper Potion, but we still have the sun on our side. The sunlight fades, so we use Sunny Day. We're outspeeding at this point as well. And we knock out the Kingdra. This is the furthest we have been. We get Dragon Breath, we miss a couple of rock slides, and we're paralysed. And now it feels like I'm throwing the dice all over again. We had a way to get through the Kingdra that seemed semi-consistent, and we are throwing the dice on this Dragonair. 10 HP, and we knock it out. We are finally through Claire, but she is being a right mardy cow and doesn't even give us a badge. She tells us to go to the Dragon's Den, so we do, and she finally gives us a badge at a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes and 57 seconds. We are finally making our way into the league. We get the rare candy east of New Barktown, and we make our way into Victory Road. Before we even get to the league, we have another rival battle to contend with. I grab Earthquake from underneath Victory Road, and then we hope for the best. He tells us that we are weaker than him, and honestly, in this particular instance, I believe him. He leads with Sneasel though, and that is perfect. That means we can get all of our Amnesia set up, because Sneasel can do nothing against us. We Rock Slide it and take it out. Out comes the Feraligatr. Rock Slide does big damage through a critical hit. He's only using Water Gun, and we are through the big obstacle. Flamethrower outspeeds the Haunter. Kadabra's next. Flamethrower takes it out in a single hit. Golbat to come. We Flamethrower when we could have Rock Slided, but it doesn't matter. It goes down all the same, as does Magneton. We are through. And that wasn't that difficult. But we mustn't rest on our laurels. We have the Pokemon League left to go. We heal up as we always do at this point, and then we deposit our field move friends. We say thank you to Kenya, to Psyduck, to Abra, and to Oddish, who is filling in for Bellsprout this week. And then we take our 4 full restores. It's now or never. We could get through, we might not. It's now or never. With our pitiful stats and everything apart from defense, we've just got to go for it. We've just got to see what we can make of this league battle. Will's up first. Now, will he win or will he lose? Let's find out. Xatu's up first, and we've got just a move for that in the form of a Rock Slide. Slowbro's next. We miss our first Rock Slide, and it uses Amnesia. Curse raises its defense, and that means it's now going to be a 4-hit KO. But we do knock it out, and we are on to the Executor. Executor is weak to fire, and a Flamethrower takes it down. Jinx is next. Jinx is also weak to fire, but she double slaps us first. Doesn't matter though, we are now at level 59 as the final Xatu comes out. Psychic does barely anything, but we miss our first Rock Slide and hit on the second. Will's down, Koga's next. Ariados, weak to fire and rock, so I choose fire in this instance. The highly flammable Fortress is next, and a single Flamethrower is all we need to ignite that into the past. Flamethrower does decent damage on the muck, it minimises, but we still connect with our next Flamethrower. Crobat manages to poison us. We Flamethrower it, take it right into the red, and he's going to stall us by using a full restore. I use Rock Slide and knock it out. Final Pokemon's Venomoth, and that is as easy as setting fire to it. And Koga's down. Bruno could be dangerous though, he is fighting type. We use Flamethrower on the Hitmontop, it digs its way underground. With 4 times weak to ground, and Dig does quite significant damage. We're on to Hitmonlee, we outspeed, and Flamethrower takes it out in a single hit. We get the option to learn Body Slam, but I decline to learn it. Muck Punch does a little bit of damage to us, but we take it out with another Flamethrower, and we do the same with the Onix. Out next is Machamp. This could be dangerous. Cross Chop deals huge damage. He uses a Max Potion, but it is a foregone conclusion at this point. Machamp goes down, and we beat Bruno. Karen's next. She starts with her Umbreon. Flamethrower takes it into the yellow, and we lose some accuracy. Critical hit would have been nice on the turn before. We get outsped by the Gengar, and Curse hits us. That means we're on the clock, but it also means that Gengar goes down very easily. Rock Slide takes care of the Murkrow. Vileplume is weak to fire, so it goes down to a single Flamethrower. Out comes Houndoom, and we have Rock Slide for the Houndoom. A critical hit, and we knock it out. Karen is defeated. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That's only the selfish perception of humans. Truly skilled trainers will try to win with their favourites, and with that we move on. On to Lance, the Dragon-type trainer with a lot of flying types, so maybe we can make something of this. Gyarados is first. We use Sunny Day, but it uses Rain Dance. We are having a battle of the weather, and his weather is winning. We Rock Slide to take it down, and we have the sun out. Out comes Aerodactyl with its Rock Slide of its own, but we take out Aerodactyl in a single hit. Dragonite's next. Rock Slide is not enough to take it down, but we do get the flinch, but we miss and we get paralysed. I forgot to put the berry on again. There will be a time where I remember, but it's not this time. We're paralysed, we are getting hyper beamed by the Charizard, but we take it out. We've got 2 more Pokemon to go. Outrage knocks us out though. Let's try again. Starting off once more with the Gyarados. A Rock Slide takes it down. We don't have the Battle of the Weather, and we go on to the Aerodactyl. Rock Slide flinches us, it outspeeds us, and we Rock Slide it back, taking it down in a single hit. Charizard is 4 times weak to rock, but we miss again. We're missing all the crucial hits. It's taking us twice as long, and we're taking twice the amount of damage. Another Outrage critical hit because the RNG hates me, and we are down. Rock Slide is getting consistent against this first Gyarados though, and we are on to the Aerodactyl, where we flinch once more. We're into the yellow this time as well because of poor damage rolls. Dragonite's next. We get paralysed, but we recover with the berry, and we miss twice in a row. Out comes Gyarados. We're saying hello to this an awful lot, and we're saying goodbye to it an awful lot as well. Aerodactyl's next. Rock Slide hits us, but we don't flinch, so we get through onto the next Pokemon with green health. This time it's the turn of Charizard, who uses Hyper Beam. I decide to use a couple of Amnesia because, of course, Dragon is special in this generation. How could I forget? I'm so used to Outrage being a physical move. We get paralysed, but we have the berry just for that, but we get paralysed again. We're in a very interesting position, though. His Pokemon can't really damage us, so we just have to tank hits as we throw the dice and flip the coins every single turn. We managed to hit his last Dragonite first time, but then we miss. We're in the red on 9 HP, and by the Stratocornia on the skin of our teeth, we make it through the league. We are the champions, my friends, and Mary is the first to congratulate us. She wants that scoop, but we do have formalities to get through. We have the issue of getting us in the Hall of Fame. Only the champions are allowed in there, and Lance congratulates us with a league time of around 2 hours and 40 minutes. Magcargo's done it. Kanto's next. And we have the second part of the game. Professor Elm gives us a call and he tells us that he has something for us. He gives us the SS ticket and we chat to him once again to pick up the Master Ball we skipped on our first pass through of Newbark Town. We move on to Cherry Grove City and withdraw our field move friends. We say hello once again to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck and to Oddish. Thank you all for your patience there. And we move onwards and upwards to Mount Mortar to get our final 2 rare candies of the Johto region. First one is in Mount Mortar and the second one is in the Whirl Islands just here. And with all the rare candies retrieved, we can make our way back to Olivine City and on our way to Kanto. In the Kanto region we have another 8 gyms to go. Hopefully they won't be as tricky. I can see Misty being a bit of an issue. But other than that, I can't see many of them causing too many problems. Maybe Brock as well, because he is ground type for the most part. He's either ground or water, which we're weak to. We teleport in to Vermilion City to grab our first rare candy of the Kanto region, and it is courtesy of this man here. He just throws a rare candy in our face. I'm moving onwards to Celadon City with the easiest gym for us of all the gyms in this region. It's Erica with her grass types. Now, even though we don't resist grass anymore because we are fire rock, we still have quite the advantage over her Pokemon. We outspeed them all because we had to be such a high level for the Elite Four, and they all go down in one hit. However, Misty is next, and I don't see Misty being quite as easy. Let's give it a go. She leads with a Golduck. Golduck goes down in a critical hit Rock Slide. Out comes the Quagsire. Flamethrower deals decent damage, but it uses Amnesia. We take it out in 2. Out comes the Starmie. Surf deals huge damage. And we're going to have to get our own Amnesia, or maybe a Sunny Day, or both up. Rock Slide takes care of the Golduck once more, thanks to a lucky flinch. Out comes the Quagsire, and apologies for the state of the recording in this section. This isn't splicing. This is just OBS deciding to throw a little bit of a hissy fit. It had been recording for 3 hours at this point, so I think it was almost as fatigued as I was. Quagsire goes down, we are on 126 health, it confuses us. A Sunny Day boosted Flamethrower does quite big damage actually, and if we didn't hurt ourselves in confusion and get surfed, we might have been able to get a little bit further. As we are on the Lapras, we hit ourselves in confusion once more, and we get knocked out. And we're back to square one. Golduck hits us quite hard, but we managed to get our special defense raised. It uses Psych Up, that rare move, and we are onto the Quagsire. We build a ridge of high pressure over Misty's gym as we use Sunny Day, but it uses Rain Darts to counter us. We then hit it with a Rock Slide, it flinches, we hit it with a Flamethrower to take it down. Out comes Starmie. Starmie uses Surf, and that's it. We've got a grind. We go on to the route east of Saffron City, the reason being that we can go to Lavender Town as well and pick up the radio card at the same time, so we get some levels off these Magnemites. An easy Pokemon for us to grind against because they are very, very weak to fire. We pick up the radio card and then we go to the Snorlax, a Master Ball, because we cannot be bothered with any more RNG. We get the leftovers and hopefully this will bulk us out enough for Misty as we just about hit the 3-hour mark. We get the Sun out, it uses Surf, deals a bit of damage, but we are now recovering every single turn so we can set up a little bit easier than we did. He uses Psych Up once more, which means we use Rock Slide, the physical attack, because special attacks will do nothing against this Golduck. We decide to get the Sun out once more to get it longer, and we take out the Golduck. Quagsire's next. We're in the green for Quagsire, and a Flamethrower is all we need to knock it out. Starmie's out. Surf does barely anything, and we take it into the red. A Recover's going to do nothing for its fate as we knock it out with another Flamethrower. We're in a great position for Lapras. It doesn't resist Fire types, but it is bulky. We take it out in a couple of hits, and we might as well carry on this roll. Moving on to Sabrina, she leads with an Espeon that critical hit Psychics us to take us into the yellow on a very nice HP point indeed. Out comes Mr. Mime. We take it down in a single hit. It's all down to the Alakazam. We're back in the green. It uses Reflect, and we are able to knock it out with a Flamethrower. So we'll move on from Sabrina onto Lieutenant Surge. He leads with a Raichu. It's a very plump Raichu that's ripe for being ignited. Electrode uses Double Team, but we hit through it. Out comes the second Electrode. It uses Double Team, and we miss this time. We hit through the second Double Team, and we are on to the Electabuzz. Electabuzz paralyzes us with Thunder. Paralysis is the bane of my existence in this run. Magneton's last. It uses Lock On. We're fully paralyzed. It uses Zap Cannon, and we knock it out. Thank goodness for that. Surge is defeated. On to Brock. Brock leads with a Graveler, so we decide to use some Amnesia. Critical hit on the rollout doesn't do too much damage. We are recovering most of it. We've got a couple of Amnesias set up for his water types, and he sends out the Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn resists Flamethrower, but we are at such a high level now that we're able to knock it out. Flamethrower on the Omastar, on the other hand, doesn't do too much. However, we do get the burn, and Spike Cannon is doing barely anything. A Rock Slide's enough to take it down because, of course, it doesn't resist the Rock type. But the Onix does. I wasn't really paying attention much at this point. I've been playing for over 3 hours. Kabutops is the last Pokemon, and a Rock Slide flinches it and knocks it out. Brock is defeated. It's time to get a bit of a sea breeze and cool down on the coast. We make our way to Cinnabar Island, pick up the next rare candy, and have a little chat with Blue. Blue feeling very forlorn and a little bit down because the island has been destroyed. Now, if I could have lived anywhere in Kanto, it would have been Cinnabar Island, so I am in the same boat as him now. I'm not too happy. We get to Blaine, and we take him on. He leads with a Magcargo. We use Rock Slide and knock it out in one hit because Magcargo is terrible. Fairy attack from the Rapidash, but a Rock Slide is good against it. And his final Pokemon, the Bumhead Fireduck itself, it's Magmar. Say goodbye to Magmar, it has gone. Let's go straight to Janine. Janine, the newest gym leader with the lowest level Pokemon, and a lot of them are either flammable or weak to rocks. However, this Weezing is neither, but we still take it down in one hit. We're almost double its level. Same with this Weezing. Flamethrower is good enough. We get up to a very nice level, and we move on to Venomoth. She uses her Dire Hit, as she quite often does, but that's not enough to save it. Ariados is the last Pokemon, and it goes down as well. 3 hours, 7 minutes for Janine. Pidgeot's first for Blue. Wing Attack hits us, we Rock Slide and take it down. Out comes the Rhydon. Now, Rhydon's a tricky one. We have to use Flamethrower against it, because it will resist Rock Slide. We get the burn on it, and that saved our bacon in this instance, because that meant Earthquake didn't do much. We're on to Alakazam. We are back up into green health. Psychic hits us a little bit hard, but we knock out the Alakazam. Gyarados is next. A Rock Slide is what we need, but I decide to use Sunny Day. The reason being because I'm worried about that Hydro Pump. We don't OHKO the Gyarados. He uses a full restore. We Rock Slide, and we're throwing the dice once more, because if we outspeed, and if we don't miss, then we can take it down. We get it right into the sliver. It uses Rain Dance, we miss, and Hydro Pump knocks us out. This run has felt very cursed with bad RNG luck. I decide to set up against the Pidgeot because it can't really do much. All Mirror Move will do is increase its special defense, but we're going to use its physical attack on it anyway. So we knock out the Pidgeot with a Rock Slide. Out comes the Rhydon. I make another misplay and Rock Slide on the Rhydon, and the game punishes me with a very strong Earthquake. We still manage to knock out Rhydon, but we are only on 19 HP for the Alakazam. That goes up to 30 with the leftovers, and we OHKO the Alakazam to get us up to an amazing 41 HP. Hydro Pump misses and we Rock Slide. Leftovers recovers some and he uses Rain Dance. Hydro Pump connects and he knocks us out. We're getting walled once again, so close to the end of a section. Pidgeot uses Whirlwind, but by this point I'd deposited my other Pokemon in the PC because it kept using Whirlwind and making battles fail. We're at full HP as we knock out the Pidgeot with the leftovers, and we are onto the Rhydon. This time I used Flamethrower, I didn't misplay there, and we are on to the Alakazam. Alakazam sets up Reflect, which will make it harder for us to knock out the Gyarados. As out it comes, it uses Rain Dance and we Rock Slide, taking off about a third of its health. Hydro Pump deals big-ish damage, but we did set up a Sunny Day. We take it into the red and he will use the full Restore as he always does at this point. Rock Slide takes it back down to a third, but it uses Rain Dance and I use Flamethrower because I wasn't predicting the Rain Dance. Hydro Pump does big-ish damage, but we are able to knock out the Gyarados with a Rock Slide. Out comes Arcanine. Now we are strong against Arcanine, it uses Extreme Speed, but that does barely anything, and a Rock Slide takes it right into the red. He loves using those field restores, but it is meaningless. We get it into the red again, and another Rock Slide knocks it out. Final Pokemon is Exeggutor, and we have the Fire-type moves for the Exeggutor. And again, we don't OHKO, but Egg Bomb is a very low accuracy move and misses. And we have beaten Blue. We have got all 16 badges with the snail so far at 3 hours, 12 minutes and 44 seconds. And now that we have all 16 badges, we can chat with Professor Oak to unlock Mount Silver and the route to Red. As always, Professor Oak has a little bit of a whinge about our Pokédex completion status, but we don't care. We are on our way back into our home area of Johto. We have to go to Mount Silver, and to do that we go through the Pokemon League gates and we go and pick up our final rare candy of the game. So we have our 10 rare candies, we are outside Silver Cave, we use a Super Repel and we go up to say hello to Red. I don't really know how this fight is going to go. I'm hoping it'll be smooth, but I doubt it will. First battle. 11 level difference. He uses Charm and our Rock Slide is doing barely anything at all. The combination of Charm and Reflect together though has ostensibly made our physical attack useless. It was only 50 to begin with, so we are trying to stall against the Espeon. It uses Psychic a few times and gets us into the yellow. We get it into the red. Reflect fades as we knock out the Espeon. Blastoise is next. Surf takes us out with a critical hit. Let's try again just to see if the luck changes. Charm fails. We get an Amnesia off. We get another Amnesia off and we get a third because Thunder misses. Thunder misses so many times in a row. I am actually quite shocked at how good the RNG luck was for once. As we move on to Espeon, and it knows Mud Slap. Never in my challenge runs has Espeon used Mud Slap. I was very shocked at this point, because Mud Slap has ruined my entire strategy. Rain Dance is causing Surf to deal huge damage even with our Amnesias, and it's a losing battle. Sunny Day does help, but he will just Rain Dance away our Sunny Day to cause our Fire-type moves to do absolutely nothing at all. At level 77 we try again. Amnesia raises our special defense and Charm misses. Thunder doesn't paralyze us and Thunder misses on the next go. We are at max special defense. We are not paralyzed. We have the Sunny Day out and we knock out the Pikachu. Out comes Espeon. The Sunlight is strong. We are almost at full HP and a special attack takes it down into the red. We lose accuracy though because of that pesky Mud Slap. And it's all downhill because we've lost the accuracy. The Sunlight fades, Rain Dance starts, Rock Slide does nothing. Sunny Day is too slow, we're in the 70s for HP. Surf takes us down into the 40s, Rock Slide does a little bit better this time. He uses Rain Dance, we miss, Surf hits us and knocks us out. Level 77 again, this time with Hidden Power as our third move. Sunny Day is good, and this was a mistake from the very beginning. Getting rid of Amnesia was a very, very bad idea. I did have a save state just in case. I don't know what I was thinking getting rid of Amnesia. That didn't last very long at all, and I go back to Amnesia. I also increase my level by 3 and replace Rock Slide with Hidden Power. That means that Charm and Reflect are meaningless because we are just a special attacker. Pikachu keeps trying to charm us, but we knock it out after it uses Thunderbolts. We're on 209 HP as we go into the Espeon. Espeon uses Reflect, and we don't care about that because we can knock it out in one, and out comes the Blastoise. It uses Rain Dance. Our Hidden Power type is Grass. Surf hits us quite hard. We use Sunny Day to try and negate some of that rain, but he predicts that and uses Rain Dance himself. But we are on to Snorlax, and this is going to be a war of attrition. Two very defensive Pokemon, as Snorlax has Amnesia himself. Body Slam hits us, that could be an issue. Those Body Slams can paralyse us. We are still in the green, however. That Snorlax cannot hit very hardly at all, but it does get paralysed. We're on 67 and up to 80 as Snorlax uses Rest to try and recover its HP. Flamethrower does barely anything. We're going to have to hope for a critical hit. We're flinching because of Snore, and we have lost control of the battle. At this point, it's just a waste of both of our times because I'm not going to be able to get through the other Pokemon. So I eventually just decide to give up and go on a bit of a thinking walk again. I end up in Celadon City where I pick up the Curse TM. That's a TM I forgot to pick up on my first pass through of Celadon City. I also do a little bit of shopping in the department store for some more TMs. And then I return back to Mount Silver. I also noticed that at level 70 I could have got an extra level just by knocking out a couple of Pokemon. So I knock out that Tangela there, save in front of Red, and I try teaching an entirely new moveset. We have Earthquake, Rock Slide, Amnesia, and Curse. Let's see if this does any better this time. He sends out the Pikachu. We start cursing away, which is what I was doing throughout the entire playthrough. But in hindsight, I should have used Amnesia first. On this run I do, because Amnesia will increase our special defense, and all of Pikachu's attacks are special. And once we've maxed out our special defense, I then just get to cursing away. I say some very nasty words in front of the Pikachu and it paralyses me to try and stop me swearing. That doesn't matter anymore though. We are so bulky at this point that Pikachu can do barely any damage. Barring a rogue critical hit here and there, we should stay in the green for a very long time. We use up all of Curse's PP and then get to work with trying to sweep. I don't know how many attack buffs it is with the charm from the Pikachu, but it is enough to OHKO the Pikachu with Earthquake. That goes down. Out comes Espeon. Espeon uses Psychic and it does nothing to us. This feels good for the first time in a very long time. The dreaded Blastoise is next. It uses Rain Dance, but we Earthquake to make sure it can't do anything with that Rain Dance. Snorlax is out, it uses Amnesia, but we are a physical attacker this time and we take it down in one hit. That felt good. Venusaur's next, it uses Giga Drain, gets the critical hit, but an Earthquake is enough to knock it out in one. That just leaves Charizard. We've got Rock Slide for Charizard, we are at boosted attack and it is 4 times weak. We knock out the Charizard and we beat Red with a time of 3 hours, 47 minutes and 49 seconds. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with their favourite Pokemon. That is so right, Karen. And with a time of 3 hours, 47 minutes and 49 seconds, it's 5th place on the leaderboard, but 1st place for me. And we're done. That was a challenge. That was a true challenge. The hardest Pokemon I have ever run with. So I'm going to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave a like down below. Please leave a comment letting me know how you thought the run went. And if you've really enjoyed yourself, please consider subscribing. I'll see you all in the next challenge.